Um, we both, we're both from the Vancouver area, and we both care about the area that we live in enormously, and that really comes through in your work. There's the Vancouver of postcards and tourism ads, the Vancouver that likes to be remind the world that it's one of the most livable cities on earth.
Mhm.
Then there's the Vancouver we've both inhabited. How do you approach that contradiction as a writer?
Well, it has to do with the way the city looks and feels from the point of view of the people who live here and the people who grew up here, and again, sort of that underdog sensibility. So, when the Olympics were here and now with FIFA, there's a tremendous excitement, and it is a beautiful city, and there's a lot of people with money here, and that I can't discount that. That is part of what makes Vancouver Vancouver. But there's also another side, which was working class, and my friend Charlie Demers described it as the smell of sawdust, and that's sort of been lost over the last few years. But it does remain in certain corners. So I think that by writing a book set here, I can kind of highlight that a little bit and what it's like to live here and see both of those sides of the city.
And Vancouver has a habit of erasing itself. Buildings disappear, businesses disappear, entire neighborhoods become unrecognizable within a decade. Do you ever feel like part of the job of writing crime fiction is simply preserving a record of what existed?
Yeah, and by its nature, writing is historical fiction. Like you're writing a city that's changing faster than you can document it. So even in the latest Wakeland novel, Guns Across the River, there's a big scene that takes place at Hastings Racecourse, and I always wanted to set something there. I've loved that place. It's just like this beautiful combination of kind of a seedy part of the city, and yet it had the best free view of anywhere, like just to look at the mountains and everything. And it celebrated its last season, and it's scheduled for being demolished before the book even came out. So
Mhm.
without me doing anything, my book is now historical fiction.
Good point. Yeah, it's a sad loss that we're losing that racetrack. No interest in betting on the horses, but just having it in the city was distinct. It brought character. Yeah. Um. So I believe you once joked that Sam Wiebe and Nolan Chase are the same person, but not quite the same writer. Similarly, I think you described Dave Wakeland as fallible and socially minded, while Ethan Brand feels more heroic or idealized. Um, what does Ethan allow Nolan to do as a writer that you couldn't do with Dave?
Well, they're different styles of book. I mean, the Private Eye novel, which is what the Dave Wakeland series aspires to be, is a first person Raymond Chandler esque story about someone trying to survive in the city. And you get to kind of spend the time with them. And, the atmosphere is so important to that. With the Ethan Brand series, they're basically like Clint Eastwood movies or Burt Reynolds movies. Burt Reynolds doesn't spend a lot of time, with the atmosphere of the city. He gets down to business, and I really like writing that kind of thing too. I mean, it's much more of a going back to the pulp sensibility of like old westerns and dime detective stories. So it's nice to kind of write more of a lantern jawed hero. Whereas Wakeland is somebody who, he often loses the fights he's in, and it's more about, bearing witness and kind of getting the truth at any cost.